Hi dreamers, you're watching Pixels and Dreams, Weaving the Magic of Games, and my name's Renee Gittens. Today we're going to be talking about game development. Basically, what is game development? It's clearly developing a game, but what does that even mean? You can make a game right now. When I say game, I'm actually talking about a wide range of games. I'm talking about card games and playground games and tabletop games, word games, and yes, of course, video games. And as you know, video games come in all shapes and forms. Some of them have scores and are competitive. Some of them are more just immersive experiences where you get to enjoy exploring another world or a different concept. If any part of engagement and fun and play is part of the creation that you want to work on, then to me that's a game. That's one of these experiences. You right now, no matter what your background is, what your skills are, you can make a game. It doesn't have to be a digital game that you can play on your computer. You can just design a game on paper. And in fact, many video games start that way. They start as ideas on paper or paper designs. Think of a game like Hearthstone. You can really see how you could cut out cards and write different abilities and play that with your friends before ever turning that into a digital card game. I do want to talk about some specifics of the video game industry, but I don't want you to be overwhelmed. Truly, making a game is just coming up with some basic rules and some progression or concepts of how the player should engage. And really, that's the core of it. But to give you a better sense of all of the different roles and all of the different skills and knowledge and interests you can bring into video games, I wanted to talk about the disciplines that make up video game companies. First of all, they're the core game development disciplines. These are people and teams who work directly on components that are in the video game itself. One of those core teams are engineers or programmers. Those are the people who write code that makes the video game function. They program these sets of rules, and those rules might be something as basic as rendering a single pixel on the screen. Or they can be as complex as how boss fights happen. Gameplay programmers are programming the actual gameplay and scripting of events in the game itself. There's also designers, and designers can have a lot of different characteristics that fall under them. You of course have level designers that design levels of the video game, place objects, say where different objectives are going to be or enemies will be. There's also writers and narrative designers and quest designers and combat designers, systems designers. There's a whole wide range of different inputs on the design of a video game that can fall underneath the sort of design discipline or category. There's also artists. Artists help make the beautiful assets that bring a game to life, that you visually see within a game. These can be characters or sparkle effects or fire or the gorgeous level itself, even the UI. Making sure that your action bar looks cool and that your icons for abilities are easily readable. Things like that all fall under the art discipline, including the animation of those aspects. And there's audio. Audio is what you hear. It is the sound of footsteps of the player character, or the meow of a cat, or the whoosh of a sword, or the sound of the forest, the leaves rustling, the owls hooting, and it can be the music as well. The tunes that introduce a character to a zone, or that communicate a desperate fight in a boss battle. Depending on the team and game, that's really just the start of these sort of core disciplines that engage in game development. There's also a lot of support disciplines that help a game be successful in its development. Notably, you have both production and quality assurance. Producers help with the project management of games. They help ensure that timelines are kept, that people are communicating well, that the left hand knows what the right hand is doing. And quality assurance, QA, they test the game. They make sure that it's performing as intended, that there aren't bugs or strange behaviors, that things look and feel and seem as they should. Those are both really important roles while the game is in development and post-release as well. There are also many other disciplines that engage with game development and are really critical to the success of the game, sort of the business disciplines or the community disciplines. You have community management, PR, marketing, for example. These are people who help get the word out about your game and maintain the communication around it. There's also people who work in support. So if there's any issues with the game, the team can be informed that there are problems and provide help to those players. There's business development, legal, HR, finances, and all of the other components that go into running a business. Because when you have so many people working together on a project, whether it's big or small, you need other types of support to ensure the company functions, that people can get paychecks, and that there's not going to be any legal issues. No matter what your interest is in, you can find a place within the games industry that there's a need for those skills and talents. You can be very passionate about history and consult or work on a team where they're making a historical game, and it's really important to them to get different historical aspects correct. You could be passionate about the environment and work on a game about green living that encourages people to be more cognizant of the environment, more respectful for the choices they're making to support it. You can be a writer and write dialogue and stories and plots. You can be an artist and draw characters and concepts and animate really interesting creatures. I think the beauty of video games is that it brings together all of the different potential interests people can have and helps them collaborate on a project that allows them to share their stories and dreams and hopes with the world. So, dreamers, that's my introduction to video games and at least some of the different roles that you can do within them. I hope this informs you a little bit more about what video game development is and encourages you that anyone can partake in it because all of us have something we can bring to the table.